We are in week 6 and we will be covering health-related behavior and health promotion. And so let me just go over what you're looking at for this week. Here are your objectives for the chapter. And again, you want to try to use these to help you study for the exam. Everything that you see here is fair game for the tests. So make sure that you listen to my overview podcast where I explain these and I go through these with you. That will be helpful for you. And the lecture slides, and again, the lecture slides are just meant to help you zone in on some key things. They're not meant as a replacement for reading, right? So if you are only going over the lecture slides and you're not doing the reading, you're gonna have a hard time with the tests. So just keep that in mind. You can print these out and have them next to you as you're reading through the chapter. That would be helpful, and then you can kind of fill in any notes on the side margins that might go along with what you're reading. But again, these are not meant to be an end all. You have to read in this class, and I do say that in the syllabus how important that is because this is an online class. A lot of the responsibility falls on you, the student, for reading. And if you're having any trouble with any of these concepts or you need more explanation or more help, that is where you can Zoom with me. And I can go over things with you that you're wanting that extra attention on. I've posted the cite as you write instructions just because I'm noticing still errors in people citing in the discussion board. If you just print this out, it's one page and it gives you examples of how to cite. It's really very simple, the citation. I just think people aren't looking at it. And I think people are relying on how you've always cited maybe in other classes or other disciplines. And so citations in psychology are specific to APA formatting. APA is the American Psychological Association, and many of the social sciences actually use APA formatting. We do not use MLA as they do in English, so it's different. And for this class, you're required to be citing in this fashion, and if you find that you're getting points taken off or I'm writing that in your responses, then that's something you want to zone in on and just fix. And it's a really easy fix. So hopefully that all makes sense. And if you still have questions about citations, please feel free to reach out to me and I will help you. This week's discussion deals with Chapter 6 of the Longevity Project, and it has to do with childhood and school days. And those kids that get an early start to their education versus those who don't, how does that affect them in the long run? Okay, so you're going to be answering some questions about your early childhood education. It's a very simple assessment this week. And then you're going to be looking at some findings from the Longevity Project in terms of what they found. How does breastfeeding relate to health in later life? And what role does early education and playtime play in one's longevity? And then when it comes to higher education, college, how does that factor into one's health and longevity? And so again, you want to be using lots of examples from the termites, say them by name, get to know these people really well. They're the same people we'll be dealing with all semester. And then just make sure that you're integrating your sources and you're citing them correctly. If you have opportunity to integrate Serafino and Smith into your responses, not to just these, but your responses to other people, please do so. That gets you a better grade on your discussion post. This week's reading through Serafino and Smith does deal with some things about schooling and things about behavior that are related to health. So I think you're going to find some crossing and some intersection of the material here to the longevity chapter this week. And that's really how I envision the longevity project fitting in nicely as a supplement to the main text. Is it's really supposed to enhance what you're learning by giving you an outlook or an insight, I should say, into this longitudinal study that looked at so many of the factors that our main book talks about throughout every chapter. So find some ways to integrate that in, and that's going to help give you a better discussion this week. Last week was much better. Everybody had much better posts. I'm noticing a big just more emphasis in the responses to others, more integration of the material, and that's really what I want to be seeing. And these posts are your opportunity to talk and chat with one another, and for me to see what that conversation looks like, and see how you're using the elements of the class to elucidate your learning that's taking place through the readings and such. So have a good week, everybody.